What's up, everybody? That's right, it's Mitch Leslie here with Jack Wright, helping you start your Saturday off with a bang here in this Midseason Madness qualifiers. Mate, can we just take a moment to acknowledge the loopiness of the desk right now? What is this fascination with the Sigma players, especially with New Queens, Circle Royale is in the map pool at the sixth map, if we need it. So much focus on those sort of players here. You can definitely see that analysts struggle to really put either team at a distinct advantage in this matchup.
Yeah, well, I think they're just melding minds. I can imagine it's a little bit hot in that small box thing that they got going on, and they're just kind of.
They got bloody AC. I'm the one in my garage.
I'm sure
it's just not an excuse.
I've got AC too. It's nice and breezy in here. It feels very good.
It's
yeah,
like,
and I don't know. Maybe their maids are
90 degrees in here. I just don't want to hear it being too hot as a bloody complaint. I've been stuck in this bloody garage for 2 years, mate. Hey, the Washington Justice, they've been stuck in the doghouse lately, though. Let's be honest, because a lot of people, including our analysts, have been very sort of low on them here. But it was a close matchup against the Houston Outlaws coming into this here, but it's the same bloody story. All right, we're flipping a coin for the Washington Justice. Every time we see them, Danny likens it to a gacha game. I can relate, it's a bit of a tragic myself. Yeah. But the truth is, we rarely know what to expect from this roster until they hit the battlefield.
Yeah, it is tough, mate. That's it. Do the Justice flip the coin today and they get heads and they just pop off? Or do they flip and get tails and maybe it's not so great today? And they have Happy, who could potentially be one of the best Sojins in the league. Like, his aim is cracked, he's extremely good at Widow, and then you have Decay on the Tracer. And I think this, like for a lot of other teams right now, Mitch, is a very good meta for teams that have extremely good solo players on the team. Decay, amazing Tracer. Happy, amazing Sojin. Krillin and Opener have also been very, very good. Kalios too. Like, a lot of these pieces from the Washington Justice can work together. Happy and Decay just need to show up big here today. And the Justice, I think, historically have been a team that, look at the playoffs in 2020. Like, Decay comes in, he plays Zarya, and then they get how far? Like,
far enough.
No one really expects that. Exactly. No one expected that from the Washington Justice. And I think this is the meta, and this is the tournament that they can really cement themselves in the league and get off this 4-4 streak that they've been on.
This aggressively mid feel from the Washington Justice is only mirrored by their opponents as of late, the Toronto Defiant. These are two teams right now at 4-4. And yeah, the desk is correct in sort of saying that, hey, I mean, you know, there's win and in scenarios from here on out for these two teams heading into Midseason Madness. Now, looking back at this team, right, we saw the Toronto Defiant try and get some value out of Hisu playing a Sombra, which is not an uncommon pick at all. It didn't look good. You know, I mean, you called it out yesterday during the game saying, I don't know if this will work. It worked then for Shockwave, but for Hisu, not the same. But what happens when you stick this guy on Sojourn, Jack?
Oh, God. He just actually collapsed. Like, it's kind of insane. You have two completely different maps. One you play Sojourn, one you play Sombra. It's kind of like, okay, Sombra, meh, it's very meh. And then you go to a Sojourn map, you go to Midtown, and he's just getting, look, Sojourn is extremely strong right now, but still getting these big, like, 4Ks, like headshots after headshots after headshots. Like, it's something that Hisu is extremely good at. Another incredible DPS player.
You did that.
I did do that, yes. I think it's been done a couple of times this season already, not by myself, so I thought I'd just throw my 2 cents in there.
I'm glad you joined the peanut gallery. Carry on.
I was excited for the Toronto Defiant this season, and I honestly still am. Twilight, Chorong, Twilight obviously a god gamer Ana player. He can turn fights just with a nade, he can win fights just with a nade, and Chorong, another very good rookie player that has come in this season. There is a lot riding on this match. It's going to separate one of the teams from this very mid 4-4 scoreline, and I just hope it propels one of them upwards to greater success, because these teams historically as well haven't been the tippity top of the league.
No,
this is their chance to turn that around.
Right? The Toronto Defiant has still not been able to like shake free of the narrative that has existed ever since their induction into the Overwatch League. It's been a team that goes even and wins and losses, and they're a factor, they're a feature. Maybe sometimes they sneak into like a qualifier or like a sort of playoff scenario, but they rarely penetrate all that far. They always lack that X factor that we see from so many of our other champion teams. I'm looking forward to see what Krillin displays for us. We see Kalios here, so we think, okay, well, there's Zarya, Sigma, possibilities here. Krillin, Zenyatta, been really, really effective. Very impactful so far, and something that Justice can lean on. It's actually mental, just how offensively oriented this team is. But again, you know, it can fall apart pretty quickly, especially when you start to see their backline get exploited a little bit more. So if we get the Sigma here, this will be less common for New Queen Street, right? Like, how many teams are playing this composition here?
Yeah, not many. I mean, it's more like Divey, Winston, Doomfist is an extremely popular pick on this map, so
Zarya
Justice are going to TP out. Zarya at times, yeah, very different, like, yeah, defense-orientated. Okay, Happy, Decay, Sojourn, and Tracer. This is what you want to see. Just Decay, we know he's a world-class DPS player. It's just which version of Decay ends up showing up. And of course, like we mentioned, this is the day to kind of turn that around. They want to be not aggressively mid. And on that kind of train of thought, you know, Hisu finds him with a headshot pretty quickly. Okay, well, that's not the best start for the Justice.
Well, the problem for me is that the Justice are playing a poke comp. That's the composition that they're going for right now. They don't Batiste there, sure, but, you know, Kalios, Krillin, Happy, but they're the ones that actually get poked down by the Defiant setup. So Toronto didn't even have to, you know, play more aggressively here. Okay, there it is, Happy. Good poke. Like to see that.
How did they let him get away with that? I don't know. Like, you see him kind of firing down a corridor. He's going to get charged pretty quickly. I'm surprised they didn't drop sooner. But you're losing your Zenyatta there is pretty bad, and losing your Tracer a little bit worse. This is what I mean. Happy could potentially be one of the best Sojourns in the league right now. His aim is just unbelievably cracked, and on a hero that has such high mobility too, it's just unreal, like godlike pop-off potential. The Pokken composition, it works when the Tracer on the enemy team has fallen, because you're not looking multiple ways to try and deal with this Tracer. You can just look forward, poke the front line, and hopefully take down Muse at least low enough, or maybe kill him before we can make a big engagement.
Have you seen Muse try and make an engagement at all yet? I feel like
no,
that was such a slow fight, and we just watched Happy go from point A to point B to point C, just eliminating people, never under any kind of pressure.
Take care of them.
This is the point in the map where Justice have to be a little bit careful, although Finale missing the pulse bomb, maybe not so careful. The poke composition, if you end up rounding this corner, there's a lot more sight lines for your DPS to take, and even your Zenyatta. Decay's already got a pulse bomb of his own. Easy stick onto Muse. He was discorded too, there was no hope of him surviving. They even nano Kalios to try and end this fight. Poke comp Mitch working out so far.
The Defiant, though, okay, yeah, definitely need to find a little bit of conviction. They need to actually make an engagement here. So far, it's been Hisu randomly picking people off. That's what's been sort of started them up. Finale's had very little success on the Tracer so far, and that's Krillin getting involved once more. The Transcendent's also getting thrown in here. Kalios looking to make a bit of a gambit here with the Gravitic Flux. You have to wonder what that's even for.
Enemy here.
Yeah, the Zenyatas both go down, and Finale, or Chorong, sorry, was nanoed in that fight. Twilight used it to save him. And then we hit Krillin with a Transcendence. It looked like more of a, I wouldn't say desperation, more just kind of, okay, if we hit something now, maybe we can stall for longer so the bot doesn't push. I know this isn't the highest value Transcendence, but regrouping is more important, especially on push maps. As long as you can stall the bot on the opponent's side of the map, your team can regroup a lot quicker. But now Kalios is switching over to the Doomfist, so they just want to take the fight. Poke comp on the defense, not normally as good. There's still a lot of cover you can utilize if you're the Toronto Defiant against the poke comp. For Happy, he's got the rail. He's ready to go.
There's a Transcendence in play right now, though, and even though he can penetrate through that healing, he opts not to. Instead of trying to add his damage to the pile. Happy is playing this like a sniper. Extremely far back until he realizes he has a chance to pounce on the Zenyatta here. Finale steps up and knocks Happy down. The Toronto Defiant looked pretty comfortable there through that fight after they started off with the Transcendence.
Yeah, Happy took a long time to act, and you said, well, he's playing it like a sniper all the way at the back. But the rest of his team already got dove on by Muse, so it's more of a go button. You need to hit a little bit quicker. They almost get the checkpoint, in fact, 2 meters away. That rather unfortunate for the Defiant. Felt like Happy needed to go in a little bit more aggressively there, since the rest of his team weren't having a good time. Pulse bomb for Finale, though. Yeah, and Opener's already in trouble. Very little protection for it. You only got a Zenyatta on your backline, and there you go, already dead.
I mean, the disruptor shot there from Hisu was fantastic. When the Krillin couldn't get healed, I think, or couldn't help Opener as he was starting to get pressured down there. Happy finds Muse. That's not too shabby here, but the Defiant have a pretty good way to start this fight off. They get the backline first, and even though they lose a couple of players here, obviously they're able to start moving his bot back a little bit as the Justice must regroup.
Yeah, it's very scrappy, like extremely scrappy right now. No fight is, well, it ends up even, I suppose, because the bot doesn't move.
Kalios? You're kidding me?
Yeah, he just died.
He took a ton of damage from the disruptor shot, and then I guess he just gets lined up with a Discord or hoping to pressure from Twilight there. Happy they were able to respond, bailing his team out once more. Okay, Nano Sojourn. I'd say I've seen an awful lot of that.
Yeah, I will say the left click on Sojourn when she is nanoed, it sounds like a water pistol.
Yeah.
Like a really heavy duty water pistol, like a big old super soaker.
Right, really makes it feel more powerful than normal, right? Yeah, really.
Yeah, normally you're like, whoa, it's great. Like Sombra's weapon is one of my favorites.
Overwatch 2 dev teams, like, yeah, we've really like beefed up the noises, make it feel extra lethal. Ah, here's a super soaker effect for you when you get nanoed.
I mean, it sounds cool. It sounds like maybe like an alien weapon is what they're going for, but kind of thing. But yeah, it sounds kind of funny. It sounds like water to me, but there you go. Okay, they're nearing the checkpoint, but it's a very easy defense here from the Defiant, having the high ground. Hisu has the overclock, but Charon going down first off good.
I mean, Decay was in a pretty good position there to cause a lot of problems. Hisu, fortunate actually to sort of shut him down a little earlier on there. Krillin at range again, finds yet another key pick-off. Kalio's dueling with Muse, and it looks anything but finesse.
Yeah, it was like a backyard brawl.
I don't know what to make of that one there. Yeah, definitely a wet noodle fight while Krillin was there getting the real damage done. Regardless, the result may well be a checkpoint here, which is huge. The Justice picking one up here outside of like an overtime situation, Jack, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's super big. Especially the Doomfist going down last is pretty bad because he can't just sit on the payload and stop the bot from moving towards that checkpoint. So not the best. Ideally, you want to retreat and then go for a re-engagement, but Muse ended up taking the 1v1. Or maybe it was a 2v1. There's only a Discord orb on him, so that kind of sucks. But now happy with the railgun. Justice have pulled all the way back. They know they've got a fair bit of time to work with. They've got almost 4 minutes, but if Happy finds a big kill here, could be all over.
Disrupt the shot, fired down. Good combination there. You saw Kalio's jump in and then jump out. Apparently his Meteor Strike is going to be thrown in the back line. Immediate sleep, but Twilight's still going to get run over by Decay, who quietly in that fight snatches up at least 3. And the Justice might be back into an aggressive position once more. Nice stick. Yeah, that's big from Finale. Bit of a parting gift.
That was nice. Finale's been very impressive too, by the way, for the Toronto Defiant. A lot of these Korean Tracer players that have come from Korean contenders and the flex supports have just been god gamers. And it's nice to see them stepping up against people like Decay too. That's a lot. You come into the league and you're like, wow, I have to face like Pelican, Decay, like, come on, bruh. It doesn't seem fair, but Finale's been definitely a standout for Toronto Defiant thus far. 2 minutes to go. There's only a meter separating. Decay with a pulse bomb. They're cycling their DPR souls pretty well, or just not even needing to use them.
Oh, forced trans.
Forced trans.
And, I mean, Hisu's down, so you're forcing trans into a fire. I mean, Twilight, yeah. About that healing, bro. Forget about it. It's not going to help you. Transcendence essentially nullified there, and Happy looks to try and get a little bit more aggressive, and this is where the Justice just seem to be the better team. Yeah, there's moments, right? Hisu finds an odd pick at the start of a fight, or Finale has a cute pulse bomb, but it's the Justice that just, when they really have to get started in these fights, Jack, and the Defiant get absolutely rolled.
Yeah, the overclock pretty good against Transcendence if you got a crack shot. I remember getting called out one time. Someone said, "Oh, I can't believe you're so stupid. Did you not Transcendence gives immortality to everybody?" Yeah, I hope you're watching, buddy.
No.
Decay with a pulse bomb in the spawn should be pretty easy clean up, especially after Twilight goes down first. And with the bot being this far with 2 minutes remaining, it's really tough. Like, the Justice can play all the way back if they lose people and just wait and fight. Did Decay not see Muse? Like, no HP just fling past him?
He has to have.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was just like, yeah. I thought he might chase after Muse, but I guess Twilight was spawning, so maybe thought it was a bit of a foolish play.
Punch there, though, Jack. That stopped him real quick. So the Justice, they're playing this map in a way that I kind of expected teams to evolve into it, right? There's no incentive to push here, really, because of the risk that it incurs. Not as bad as Colosseo, but the Justice, I mean, don't have a great reason to try and go much further than they already have right now.
No.
It does mean the margin for the Defiant is easy to catch up on, but there's a butt scratch on the other side for Toronto, so even though they get the checkpoint, Jack, doesn't really mean much.
Dude, he hopped off the bench straight over that pulse one. It's really nice positioning. Hisu being asleep is not good. In fact, Muse in the backline already. That Meteor Strike, although it doesn't do as much damage as it used to, it's still an unbelievable disruptor tool. It gives you so much overhealth. Hisu with an ultimate. This could be the last chance for Toronto Defiant to turn this one around, Mitch, but Hisu's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, under pressure, gets a defensive Bionic Grenade deployed towards him, but Decay is going to burn him down in midair. Kalio surges forward now.
Decay.
Yeah, he's popping off.
This is what you wanted from the Toronto Defiant, for Decay to step up, and he has been doing that in recent weeks. It's just the rest of the Washington Justice team that need to step up to that extra level. This is what you want to see. The DPS players from the the Washington Justice just elevate their play with these solo heroes, the Tracer and the Sojourn. And it's so nice to see Decay just popping off on Tracer. And then with 20 seconds to go, Mitch, good luck. I mean, Hisu has to hit something nasty with this overclock.
I mean, Hisu has 4 kills to Happy's 13. Finale has 3 to the K's 12. They're getting absolutely dominated. And this is what they, I mean, this is the Justice's best weapons. This is why they built the roster this way. It's functioning as intended. I mean, even Krillin has more eliminations than Finale and Hisu, respectively. So this is what we talked about, the very keen weapons available to the Justice.
What a stick!
That's a beautiful stick, and Happy had the extra damage there as well, but it probably wasn't even needed. Overclock here. Happy harassed by Muse as he tries to push up here, but there's just so many defensive mechanisms in play. Happy doesn't have to sweat it at all. But a grenade at Muse. So even with Trans in play, he's still at great risk, but the Justice, again, they're not incentivized to go too aggressively here. Krillin, Cossack kick to the breadbasket. Finale is down.
I mean, that's basically it. That is painful. Watching the Washington Justice backline get dove on, they just nano Krillin, and Krillin just ends up just popping off and surviving for like such an ungodly amount of time. Plus, you then have to touch the robot. Masterclass from the Washington Justice so far. What a surprise. Decay is showing up on the Tracer on a map that's very, very well suited to that pick. Yeah, he's still as good as ever.
Well, I guess if this is a gacha game, we managed to pull the 5-star in a big way. Decay and Happy looking elite right now. I mean, the Justice, their DPS don't hold a candle to them in that map, and that's just a fact. Stick around, everybody. Chances for the Defiant are plenty on the other side of the break to make a run back. So almost every team in the Overwatch League, especially those that perform well with regularity, have superstar DPS players. The Washington Justice roster is constructed with an even heavier lean towards those dominant DPS players in Decay and Happy, and you saw them turn up in that previous map. Pound for pound, the Justice were miles ahead of their opponents.
Yes, super far ahead. I mean, he's had a few nice rails, yeah, finale, couple of picks here and there, but I mean, it's just it's the Decay show once again. Who's really surprised? We're going on to Watchpoint Gibraltar next, and there's another very good map for the Justice. Happy can play Widowmaker if he wants, and I think this is also a map you can play Sojourn too. It's the slide, the power slide is so good at reaching high grounds because you can jump at the very end, and you can close the gap on something like a Widowmaker very quickly. Will they end up playing Widow, or will they play Sojourn? I think on offense, you might just want to play Sojourn, and you come out the top spawn doors, you hit the slide, the power slide onto the high ground. As long as there's not like, you know, someone kind of waiting for you, you should be okay. And taking control of height just leaves Widow a whole lot less space. I'm curious how this map is gonna shift out, but I think Sojourn's just too strong right now, Mitch, honestly, not to play.
It's interesting not to see Mag get subbed in here. We still have Kalios for the Justice, and his Doomfist looked pretty darn solid on New Queen Street. Muse was carrying his team in a huge way. He had 11 final blows on the Doomfist there, which was, again, more than both of his DPS sort of put together. So you can see that the real impetus for these two teams originates from very different roles in that previous map there. So there's no doubt that Muse's Doomfist is up to the task here. And we also saw Kalios open with the Sigma, which, I mean, they played a pseudo poke comp, and it didn't really work for them here. So on the attacking side, so many options for the Justice, right? Decay Genji, Happy Widow, a lot of things that are really potentially frightening for the Defiant.
Yeah, quite like the Genji. And Krillin and... Oh, okay, yeah, nice,
right,
nice.
Sojourn.
That's what I want to see. There you go. He slides across high ground, gets on top of it really quickly. Although with Toronto Defiant also running a Sojourn of their own, it's not Widow, so that gap isn't really necessarily there. You always love Decay Genji. I'm glad Genji is good in Overwatch 2, I will say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing like seeing a good Nano Blade, that's for sure. I mean... Oh, okay. Oh, wait, he missed that shot. Hang on a second. Someone help him. Someone help him. He's good.
He's all right. He got the mini there, and Opener very quick to rush to Happy's side. Yeah, it looks like Muse maybe not expecting them to come back so quickly here, but this is that trademark aggression of a Justice team that are firing. Unfortunately, that's the double-edged sword. As Happy runs straight into that. It's a nade from Twilight that really punishes. Kalios is down to a rail.
The honor on blue box. Yep. Yeah, I mean, you can just kind of sit and camp up there, just throw nades willy-nilly. Especially if you're someone like Twilight, you can drop, or you can just hide behind blue box to gain some cover. If your Ana has high ground like that, it's super hard to assail that that platform that Muse is currently on. But if Happy finds yet another pick, should be good. Although with Decay going down, pretty bad. Okay, so the Justice, they do have a few ultimate combinations they can use with the Nano Blade, or they could nano someone like Kalios and send him in, so he's more or less immortal in the front line. But you still have to watch out for Finale. The pulse bombs, especially on Doomfists, yeah, it's a pretty easy target to hit when he's got that power block up, and you just have to kind of wait and judge the timing to make sure he doesn't tank a lot of that damage with the power block. But we've seen time and time again, Tracers just have their way with Doomfist.
He's not ready for that. He was not prepared for having to pick that. I thought he actually saw him, but I guess we just saw the wireframe and assumed he might have known the Sojourn was coming. Krillin, nicely done. He and Opener getting involved there. Eventually, Finale able to zero in on that Ana's location, Jack. But this does mean that high ground now goes to the Justice, at least for the time being, at a crucial juncture, because the card obviously moving through that car wash, and Kalios is back on the scene.
And what, they're close to Nano Blade, so that seems like the ending play for the Justice to try and claim this first point. But the Nano onto Muse, this is a very early Nano, like super, the effectiveness is pretty negligible. Yeah, and it's gone. So that seemed like more of a panic Nano than anything. Maybe they thought there were a lot more Justice members on this high ground, but Nano Blade,
the high ground.
So close.
Ooh. Oh, he limped. Oh, no, the rail.
This is the shot.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. Krillin trying to keep Decay alive. Couldn't LOS the guy. Again, sometimes it's hard to hit Genji even with your zoomed in primary fire. I get it. Okay, excuse me. He's going to get the nano boost now. The Brig's starting to do some work. Handing out the girls, go. Cookies as well. Guy does everything. Cooks, cleans, childcare, you name it. He's there. Kalio's going to move up as well. An Opener caring for the cart, shepherding that one forward here. Finale has to recall with high ground's been controlled by Happy here. Scary scenario. The Defiant have to cobble together a defense here.
It's the blade.
Transcendence immediately.
Disruptor shot doing a whole lot of work. You need that nano to survive nano blades these days. Transcendence has been forced though. Here comes the rail.
One rail connecting on Kalios. Make it 2. He goes down. Choron gets the job done with a Discord orb and an orb to the dome. Krillin could be in trouble here as well. He definitely dodges a rail coming his way, but Krillin able to find 2 kills. Wow, what a lethal weapon at support is Krillin so far, and yet it's not enough. The Justice pull up just short of that checkpoint.
Man, it goes back to that nano on Opener. I understand he wanted to save him. Opener actually bashed into Muse, so they counter-punched each other almost and both fell on the ground. You're like, okay, save Opener, maybe we win. Maybe we can get this rally online, but Decay used the blade, force out Trance, but gets nothing else done with it. 13 seconds to go. Finale's got Pulse Bomb. He's lined up.
Oh, the Bionic Grenade as well.
Hits him with
that top. Kalios back up to health, Jack. This gets dangerous now. Finale. And we might be about to find out exactly why he's called that. Decay tries to shepherd the car forward for a moment. He's going to be hit by a Bionic Grenade as well. But Happy's found Hisu here. Opener may have gone down for the... Oh. Okay. Well, you have players. Well, can't touch.
Yeah, you can't touch. Like, well, you kind of guess. You've got Genji. But that nade and the Pulse Bomb onto the Doomfist just ended the whole thing. The Justice losing their Doomfist in that situation. Who touches? Happy goes in, dashes away because he got naded. And then, Opener's down on low ground. He's the one that now has to touch, but it's just one Brig alone against a Tracer. And Ana, who's on high ground, looking at you with a nade. Well, Hisu was dead, but it didn't matter. Like,
would you like a stat?
That's super rough.
I'll give you a stat. It's not you can guess. Okay. Who do you think leads the Justice in final blows after that round?
Well, I can kind of cheat because I have the stat screen, but I won't look. Who leads the Justice final blows? I want to say Krillin.
It is. Yeah, 3 final blows for Krillin. As we saw him obviously find 2 in quick succession there. But I think that shines maybe more of a negative light on Decay, for example, going 1 and 3 on the Genji. Not able to get much started off there. Meanwhile, Finale, 5 and 0. Very impressive performance, and we're now seeing the other side of the Washington Justice coin.
Oh, so here was the... Nade? The nade that hit. That must have hit that back wall. Yeah,
the corner of the box. That is stunning.
That is spicy. Man. Very, very nice. I mean, they hit 3 people too, so no hope to heal someone up. I mean, 2 of those kills, Mitch, from Krillin, I will say those final blows were like a very, very back and forwards fight. But it was like desperation kills. It wasn't like him opening the engagements either, so very reverse of what's happening on what happened on New Queen Street. Very, very different. So they're going with the Decay Genji again. I wanted to say Tracer, but no, it is Genji.
And so I'm trying to...
You just can't use the nano to save somebody. Like, it's a good tool if you use it on Kalios or someone like that, but if you're using it on Opener to save somebody, that's just... You're almost negating 2 ultimates, right? You're almost letting go of 2 ults. You're letting go of the nano because you're saving somebody, but then you're also making the blade very ineffective to the point where it's useless. Yeah.
Especially when you're going against Sojourn, who can rail you out of the sky or at least put you so low.
She can jump away.
Yeah. So many reasons why maybe it's just a weaker pick here, but again, Decay's got other plans. Wants to use his cybernetically enhanced limbs to go upstairs a bit easier than if you were Tracer and having to use the stairs. Happy! Disruptor shot's right in front of him. That mobility really starting to shine at a point like that. He's able to back away. It is the Justice being forced to give some ground, and already the cart's in the underpass.
Yeah, nice from Finale. All he needs to do is touch payload, and then forces Justice to actually act. Another massive nade. You see what I mean? Twilight's not lost a single ounce of skill since he's been away. Good headshot on Finale, though.
I mean, it's safe.
It's forcible.
Finale's good for at least 1 in that case, if there isn't just an insta headshot to shut him down. Here's what I mean. Krillin going attack mode.
Wait, no. Decay,
2, 1 second.
No. Yeah. He was off the map at least 3 times in that small fight. Nano onto Happy, by the way, just to keep him up and alive. Or Muse with a punch. That was close. Okay. Power block. There was no power up punch.
Oh, no! I can't do this. Oh, dear. Another one falls to Muse, and now the Defiant can surge forward once more. Kalios there, trying to look as menacing as possible, but he realizes he needs to regroup.
The payload.
He's getting topped. Oh, dear.
How does Muse get away with that twice? twice on both DPS. And now Finale's perma-touching. Callio's got power up punch, but look, instant nano onto Muse. Yep. Supports are dead.
Muse is absolutely dominating right now. Unreal performance so far. He was 2-0 in the previous round, and he started to show up in a big way once more. Oh, they're Austin and Justice. They get absolutely folded.
Man, New Queen Street, they get dominated. Gibraltar, they dominate. Like, they're both 4-4 for a reason. I think this can be a closer match right now. Yeah, Muse is kind of dominating on the Doomfist. You love to see, honestly. And the play of the game was a double knockoff. Oh, he got a triple knockoff, sorry. Well, not a triple, but he got Kalios, he got the Genji, he got Decay, and he also got the Sojourn. Like, oh my god!
All right, we need to collect ourselves. This is a bit of a fiesta, Jack. I'm not gonna lie. All right, who's it gonna be when we come back? Which side of the coin is gonna be presented? They've got too far. The Defiant looking better, I guess. Question mark? All right, free neck braces being handed out to all you fellow Whiplash sufferers because this ride is far from over. It's one apiece after the first 2 maps in this series. 2 maps that were extremely one-sided either way, Jack.
Yeah, what a strange game we're going into. Hey, it's close. They're both teams 4-4. That's a narrative, right?
Yeah.
Mid. They're hella mid, but that means the game's already close, which is great. But I will say, Muse still consistently doing very well. He did very well. He was leading the team in kills on the first map, and the second map he was also popping off. So one big consistent factor for the Toronto Defiant right now is Muse, and we're seeing no substitutions either. So no mag in for Kalios, which probably means more Doomfist. They don't want to switch mag in to play a little bit main tank, although Eichenwalder, I think you could do that if you wanted to.
You can play the Sigma, right? At least on like point A defense, I would think.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what everyone's talking up. I mean, Hotba's Sigma getting talked up, and yeah, we're not going to see that by the looks of things. As we head to Eichenwalder.
Hotba, man.
You know, okay, so the term mid gets thrown around a lot. Within the confines of this series, I think that these 2 teams, on maps that they've won, have been anything but.
Yes.
The issue is never the peaks of these teams, right? It's the net output over a series or over a season or over a stage that is where most of the scrutiny originates from. You can see that the Defiant are leaning heavily on Muse and then Finale that previous map can provide. Whereas the Justice, you see what happens if Decay has one final blow on a map. It looks pretty torrid.
Yeah, and a lot of that, it didn't come from like, oh, nano opener. That wasn't like the only problem, but it was definitely a big part of why their comp didn't really end up working out. I think Stick and Decay back on the Tracer probably for the best. And we are seeing actually that Sigma on defense. I think the problem is if they run into a situation where Defiant just want to go fast and just go full on in the paint, you're gonna suffer a lot. The Rock is pretty good at stopping things like Winston, a little bit the Wrecking Ball, but when you're a Doomfist, you have a lot of mobility. You're kind of dicing with death. Do you power block before Rock comes out, or do you wait for Rock and then hit the power block? It's that kind of juggle is what Kalios and Muse are going to be facing in this first push, at least. I think we're going to see Muse switch over to anything other than the Doomfist. Just going thick and fast is exactly how Toronto Defiant have been playing. I can't imagine that'll change.
All right, so we get to see the Justice's poke composition brought out again. We saw it on New Queen Street briefly. The map didn't lend itself to it, but now we're defending in a much more static context. Kalios could be in trouble here, though. We just got punched, hit with the body grenade. Discord is still able to be topped up. Remember, Bionade is down to 2.5 from 3 seconds in duration, Jack. That matters.
Yeah, that's actually a huge time loss on Bionade, so you have to follow up with them extremely quickly. It's actually what I was worried about, a big rotation for Toronto Defiant.
Look at the wrap around here. Hisu, proud as a peacock, sat on the point there, but oh, look who's coming home to roost. The Justice step forward here. Hisu found Krillin despite Kalios bearing down on him, and Decay, with contempt, is able to dispatch Hisu.
He's so good. He is just so good. Decay is like so good at Tracer, it's a little bit unfair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Wright, color commentator at the moment.
Yeah. What's wrong with that? Oh, he's so good. Yeah, look, someone needs to make a tier list of all Tracers. I think Scott needs free content on his stream, so maybe he should go do that.
Mate, there's no shortage of content for Scott to work with now. We're back with the league. We just need replay viewer, and he's...
That's true. Free VOD. Well, okay. What more is there to say? Decay is popping off.
Yes.
Color commentator.
All right. Again, sometimes it is that simple, though, Jack. I'll let you off with that one. Kalios.
Thanks, mate.
Pressure on the Twilight. Look at him take this space here. All right. It's like he skipped geology class. Doesn't matter. As the Defiant need to wait for Twilight to rejoin them. Now, Nano's on the table, so very durable news is to be expected.
Well, that's true. You have a lot of mobility to get out of the way. Muse's ideal target, of course, would be Krillin, would be Opener. An Opener can use this Nano way more defensively than we've seen previous. They're going to go for an engagement, though. Twilight's still holding on to Nano, but Decay's already in the back.
Oh, he's a problem. He's actually a problem.
Easy kill?
Yeah,
easy kill?
Absolutely rolled. Hisu, not quite a one clip there, but, you know, maybe he thought that dropping down next to Twilight would keep him alive. Couldn't be farther from the truth there, because Twilight also was felled. And the Justice here.
Oh, man.
They're in the driver's seat in a big way. We're down to 1 minute and 20 seconds left in the round. They've not been forced to use any ultimates here. The duality of the Justice, once again, on full display.
Yeah, wow, a rare, like, bad nano there from a Twilight. You never normally see Twilight doing bad nano, but I don't think that nano is it. He used it on Muse at the very end, and Kalios also then got Muse, got nano. Like I said, you can use a defensive nano in the Washington Justice comp quite easily, and they use nothing else in that engagement. Like, you need to take care of Kalios. The poke comp looking too good, but is off the back of Decay finding picks.
All right, Happy sitting back on this rail here. Not closing the gap for the time being. Transcendence is in play. Happy naturally unperturbed. That's pretty clean stuff. I mean, Decay again finds his way onto Twilight. He is doing his job. He knows what the assignment is, and he's getting straight A's.
Nice, good jump. Happy. Maybe now in a little bit of trouble. Muse once again coming up massive. The Toronto Defiant are leaning so heavily on Muse's Doomfist right now. There will be a contest. Kalios does have the flux.
Kalios, oh, he doesn't want to be here. He's on the wrong side of that shield right now.
He needs healing.
Yep, Connect Grasp was there, but there just wasn't really enough healing at all. I mean, Opener's only just now arrived back on the scene in an awkward position for the Justice after the point's been taken. They'll be chased down if they're not careful. Nice job by Happy to at least slow Finale down. And it was so good, so close for the Justice. But not enough.
How did he just keep doing that? It's like he triple blinks in, just one clips Twilight, hits the melee, then runs away.
8 and 1.
Or hits the recall.
8 and 1.
Yeah. It's a little bit absurd, but Decay just doing Decay things, which is great. But this is now Happy's playground. He can just sit up on the high ground, spam low. It's going to be a lot more difficult for Defiant to get up to height when you have a Sigma. You have to use a lot of cooldowns to get there, or you have to walk through the Mega Health Pack room, which you take a lot of poke from.
Kalios with gusto utters the phrase. Gravitic Flux doesn't look like it. Maybe caught Chorong there, and that was how they picked off the Zen. Yeah, another clean pick from Decay with the assistance of the Discord Orb now is Happy to duel against Finale, who thinks better of it.
Yeah, like I said, you have to use cooldowns to get to high ground, and then Kalios can basically sit there for free. Although he's not sitting there right now, he's just on payload. He can be afforded a little bit of space, which is nice, because Opener, Krillin are on height. You can bio-nade anybody who jumps onto Kalios. And with Decay basically playing Doorman on the high ground, it's a lot more difficult for the Defiant to get any space. Right. There will be Chorong. There's no help for him at all. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Decay takes a moment to pay his respects and then gets on with the job. Okay, Krillin caught in the path of that rail jack, and they're looking for the honor. Happy makes his appearance here, but Hisa was looking pretty scary. Only the one pick for now, though. And I mean, Kalios is playing the off-angle Sigma in 5v5. Now he gets nano boosted as well, forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah, now Twilight's in a whole heap of trouble. He's got Happy on the side, but Hisu luckily had a charged up rail shot. Nice defensive nano once again, but it is thwarted. Muse played that really well, in fact. He tried to LOS Kalios from Opener by punching him into that small corridor. It's just unfortunate that the nano did end up landing, but they do end up winning the fight, which is good. Now Twilight's got a nano of his own. Kalios switching to the Doomfist, a lot of environmental potential, but it's up to Decay what he can find with this pulse bomb, and he's already in the back line.
Thinks better of going for the Doom. Ooh, the bio-nade from Twilight. That was a big one. Kalios only just having extricated Chorong's foot from his behind and switching to Doom gets shut down by nasty Ana play. And here's the Defiant all over the car like it's a rat warren. Gonna be a disruptor shot thrown down here by the grenade. Defensively employed, and he's just gonna get caught by the pulse bomb. Happy tries, but try as he might, it won't be enough to stop the Defiant.
Nice stuff. Again, Twilight, like I said before, he's still insane. That bio grenade landed on 4 people, instant team fight win. There's not really much you can do about it. There's no cleansing with Zarya bubbles, for example. So you're basically as good as gone. Now for the last point. The thing is, again, you're kind of inviting yourself into Happy's playground. He gets priority with angles, plus with the overclock. The only benefit for Defiant being in this situation is that they have a lot of corridors to kind of dip into away from Happy. But the way they've been playing right now, I mean, good luck. Happy is going to hit the headshots regardless. Look, he's already in the back line.
Yeah, found Chorong straight away. Twilight going down. Happy, man, he's playing a little bit closer now. Less like a sniper. More just trying to make sure we can guarantee direct hits with that rail, and he was pretty inefficient. That's 3 for him. The Defiant are just piles of smoke and ash.
Ow. Okay.
A glass blow.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like I said, the best thing about the offense there is that you can dip into corridors, but when you've got the power slide, you jump out of nowhere, you have overclock going on, you have very little time to actually react to anything. Wow, Finale's already low. Kind of sucks, but at least they have this Transcendence, right? They can stop a lot of what Decay has been doing with the Trance, but Still, Happy building up to the railgun shots rather easily because there's a lot of people grouped up. It's very easy to get 100 charge off this situation.
Oh, there it is again.
Dying this early with Pulse. You can't let this happen.
Krillin finds Finale. Just as the ladder was looking to fill the Nestor's flask, he gets ripped apart as he tries to emerge from the corridor. Another Zen pick, this time is from Chorong. Kalios needs to go big here, but the Transcendence is a huge problem for him. Nano Boost? Doesn't matter. Kalios gets his head ripped off here by Hisu, an orbital land strike claiming the Doomfist. And Decay not able to get away either. Hisu coming alive at a crucial moment here. The Defiant are set to finish the map with no time left. And that will be the story.
Oh man, yeah, it's like, whoa, Sojourn popped off. Like, she hits the ult, and then Hisu God, he's called that on Twitter for a reason. Unreal streak from the Toronto Defiant at the very end. Happy getting caught out super early. I don't think we actually saw it on camera. I'd have to go back. But I wonder how Happy was caught in that situation. Maybe he went for a slide and tried to go for a cheeky rail, in which case, if he found the pick, maybe they end up winning that fight. But just the overwhelming amount of ults that Toronto Defiant had, even with Finale going down, the Transcendence, when it's against the railgun, yeah, you're still going to get one shot, but if Happy's not in overclock status, it's a lot less consistent.
You're going to
have to keep charging it up.
He's going to lose his mind.
Oh, yeah. No, he came to my stream. He was just like, oh, like, I can't believe you're so stupid that, you know, Transcendence gives everybody immortality, right? I'm like,
no. I mean the pleb that is mad that we keep explaining that you can die through trans against.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that was annoying for people, but there you go. Yeah. Maybe it is mentioned a bit too much, but it is fairly important at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm sure everybody gets it right now that you can die through trans. So yeah, that'll be the last time I mention.
Yeah,
it.
we'll avoid mentioning
as a free gift.
Maybe like once a day is like a good rate.
Once a day. Yeah. Everybody has to check in. Okay, who said it already?
All right.
You say it. Okay, you got 2 games today. We'll say it once, and then you don't say it. Yeah.
All right. We'll coordinate in the future about it. Regardless, look, the reason why it's coming up so much is because these Sojourns, Jack, are having considerable impact. Decay, up on the trapeze, find very little.
Yeah. Shame little people. I like openers playing the Brigitte. It's a lot more benefit. Oh, okay, well. Chong's.
Go on. Go on, Jack.
Okay. Well, I was going to say the Brig is great for the Justice. It makes sure Muse can't freely get onto the back line. Nice nade by Krillin before he ends up going down.
Oh,
now it's the battle of the Traces. Who can get more kills?
Yeah, the mechanics from Decay on real display here. Yeah, just blinking through people. It's basically impossible for the Defiant to get a feel for when to expect him there. I'm impressed that Finale was able to find that elimination despite getting half of his health pool shaved off by Decay in like one of their engagements there. So very good look for the Justice, but I mean a lot really rides on the fact that again Decay can go in and pull off the key mission, right? Get rid of that Zen.
Yeah, they're like It's tough to really recover from that. Zenyatta is so good in these comps because you discord the Doomfist, and even with the power block, he still takes a lot of damage. Like, you're going to be in a position where you have to disengage and get the Discord Orb off of you, or just continue to try and fight and hope you can live through it. In the Zen compositions, or when Zenyatta is played, the longer the team fight is, normally you're going to lose it out to the Zen comp because the Discord Orb just has unbelievable value, so you have to take the fight fast if you're the team without the Zen. Finale dying to Krillin of all people. Not great.
Yeah. Just focus fire, I guess, on the Tracer there. It's tough. There's rails, there's armors as well with that hit scam pressure. You can get caught out in the open. Okay. Decay finds one. That's probably going to be enough here. Despite falling to Chorong, job done. Getting Hisu out of the mix. Man. No Sojourn in the later fight.
Yeah, Disruptor Shot is so good too. It forces people down away from the high ground or small pockets which you're holding, like with the double support. You're like, oh, okay, we're just going to chill up here. Disruptor Shot pushes you away or forces you to reposition, which is always an issue. And the Disruptor Shot did used to do a whole bunch more damage than it does now, but it's still annoying ticking damage. Oh, 180 sleep doesn't land.
Yeah, it doesn't quite connect it there, and that naturally is going to be punishing. Muse able to push as far as he likes here, and this will be the Defiant finally sort of slowing down the Justice here, and a chance to, you know, reassume that high ground position.
Yeah, it's good too. They have Pulse. They can start the fight very early. 4 minutes to go. Still a huge lead in terms of time bank. And the rally from opener could be fairly big. If they just take this castle side and then try and get the rally online, then rally up to the high ground and force Chorong and Twilight into a situation they have to play on low, they're going to be a snack for Decay, or Happy can even snipe them from height. So I think the idea for the Justice here, just take height. It's exactly what they're trying to do.
Kalios really was hoping to line up that punch, Jack. I think a lot of his combos now, yeah, not really a factor. Open it down. Bio on Muse, can they follow up? No! My lord, that's Phil! Muse able to find a punch kill on Krillin despite all the pressure he's been put under, and the bio nade. Impressive stuff, and again, nice little play made by the Defiant to solidify this defensive hold.
No, like they just trade front lines there. They just like, okay, Muse jumps down as Kalios jumps up. Kalios' nano, he didn't end up hitting anybody. It looked like he was going to go for a sweet like diag off the slanted like bits of stone, but
yeah,
he ended up going over the supports and not hitting either of them with a punch. So that kind of sucked. Decay at least can pressure payload a little bit, stop it from rolling all the way back, but without high ground, it is very difficult. Hisu is still sitting on this overclock. It's going to be overclock versus overclock in this next fight, but with openers rally and then taking high ground now with it, this could be all over.
Hisu, decent advantage to work from here, but not exactly a richness of targets. Kalios is done. Yeah. Caught out in the open there against that rail. 4 players left inside the keep for the Justice, and a little bit of that overhelp to work with, but there's no fight starter. There's no Doomfist impetus to play from behind, so now they're going to do it with 4. Oh, it flops.
Little wave of goodbye there. At least a nice little pulse bomb landed, but yeah, that rally didn't do much of anything. I mean, it helped them survive a little bit of extra damage, but that's about it. Duo supports getting isolated, and a nano onto Chorong, and he's kicking Krillin into the wall out of LOS of opener. Rest in peace.
Wasn't that crucial for Muse, right? Like, I mean, Brig being the
punch the Brig out of the way.
The Brig away from the
super nice. Huge. He's been doing that a lot, just isolating people with the punch. It's like such a massive disruption tool. You could use it before in Overwatch 1 like that, but you fly a lot further in Overwatch 2. Oh, pulse bomb. Finale almost stepped on it.
Toronto looking defensively very good again. I mean, this is a repeat of the story that we saw on Gibraltar. It's why we saw so little of the map in the end, is the Justice get brought to a screeching halt. That time it was with the Genji, but Decay seems to be faring no better on the Traitor this time around.
Okay, Nano Boost once again available from Krillin. He's going to put it on Kalios. They're going to try and take high ground. This is the 3rd or so time they've done this, and they haven't got a rally this time. Nano, sleep check.
Yep,
he's asleep.
Kalios just like jerking to the side there as he sees that sleep comes in and has to change his plan for sure. Happy, I mean, this is a very difficult position to play from here, but he knew he had a lot of support from that Nano Boost there, and the Justice, Jack, that looks to me like a brute force solution to quite a difficult problem.
Yeah, that was nice. I'm not sure if they were supposed to nano Kalios in this situation, but it worked out that they didn't need to, because Happy then jumps in, nano boost, disruptor shot in a small room, the supports were toast, not enough self-healing to kind of deal with that damage, plus Happy is just kind of free-firing. So now they get their final chance here to capture second point, but with Kalios dead already, and the spawns being so close, yeah, you have to disengage in this situation, otherwise it could be done. You maybe get a fight, but that's just a maybe.
This could be backbreaking. The momentum lost. It was a bio on the both backliners there from Krillin, but no follow-up possible. The Toronto Defiant, I can't believe they managed to pull this off there. Looked like the Justice might have finally built the momentum they needed, but this is the Defiant looking to go ahead in the series. Pulse Bomb dropped on Kalios. Twilight had the bio and the finished damage there. Happy able to find Twilight, but that's it as Hisu goes for the overclock. Speaking of clocks, the Justice's time is up. 2-1, favoring, can't believe I'm saying this at this point, the Toronto Defiant.
Okay, let's go Toronto. That was a very, very well-played fight at the very end. It helps that you killed the tank player. I'm not sure, again, what happened there. It looked like he was off to the side, just battling Chorong. And that was it. The fight was over. You're in this situation where you have 30 seconds left, pushing second, you have no tank, and the spawns are in favor of the defense team. Good luck. It's just not going to happen. And again, I want to harp on it one more time before we go to break, but Muse, popping off, Mitch.
He's absolutely leading this team and leading the charge for the Defiant. 2-1, a chance to take the series away. Can the Justice recover? There's only one way to find out. It's time to get picking. Make your predictions for a chance to earn cash and win new prizes. Share your fandom on the Overwatch League mobile app, available on Google Play or the App Store. Now, right now, pick'ems on the app, under maintenance. So do them on the bloody website. Get both of them. It ain't that hard. Put together your own leaderboards with your friends and see who comes out with the bragging rights. I mean, here's a match when I looked at my pick'ems, Jack, and I really wasn't sure what to expect, right? Again, two teams that are 4-4, two teams that have had high and low moments in equal supply throughout the season so far. But right now, the Defiant are being carried by Muse.
Yeah, he's he's kind of destroying on the Doomfist. Like, 26 final blows, which is the most for the Defiant right now. But he also has only 10 deaths, which is the least currently in the server. So he's dying the least, but he's also getting the most final blows for his team, which is insane. The two people at the top of the board right now in terms of final blows is Happy and Decay, which is...
Sure.
It's Happy and Decay versus Muse currently, if you want to really paint it that way. But Muse just destroying on the Doomfist. His ability to isolate people with Punch has been prevalent throughout Icon Boulder. He isolating Kalios a lot of the time when he was on Sigma, punching him into rooms where the healers couldn't heal him. And a very nice play we caught on camera was him punching Opener, the Brig, away from his Ana so they couldn't heal each other, which is another small little thing that just aids to the amount of final blows and just how well the Toronto Defiant is doing. We are going on to Control and Lijiang Tower our next map, and that's a pretty interesting fact actually on the bottom of the screen. 71% win rate against Justice on Control maps. Of course, that is over a vast period of time, but still, 71% pretty high.
I wonder... Yeah, I'm not too sure. I feel like the Justice probably feel better about being here than on a payload map type right now, as they've definitely struggled with those. And again, the question mark is, like, obviously not really Mag's meta, I think. We know what the guy was like on the Winston, or like to be more main tanky here. Kalios' Doom is, I think it's been fine. I mean, the Justice play in such a way where much more of those resources go towards Decay and Happy, right? They're expected...
Are you kidding me? No shot, he just fell off the map. No shot.
That is... his descendants are going to feel it in their bones on a cold winter's day.
Okay, well, luckily, he spawned fast, so he can come back. But still, you give up a lot of positioning and you get up the midpoint of the map rumble. Nice punch out of the power block, but well, Decay can Charon.
I mean, the sleep on a Tracer is huge here. The Justice really doing what they can to claw themselves back into a decent fighting position here. Chorong being down and Finale almost falling. And the Justice showing they can still get the job done even after a bit of a blooper moment there.
Yeah, 4v5, yeah, no worries. Kalios actually comes up with two final blows there, so yeah, nice. Not bad, not bad. But once again, Decay finds the backline. I'm assuming this is the replay of him rolling or attempting to roll out. Oh, yeah, I think he looked down his mouse a little bit too soon, and he just,
Oh, I guess he didn't look up at the right time, so he didn't get a vertical component on that side slam.
Oh, that's funny.
All right,
unlucky.
It happens. It happens. Go again. Sure. Back to the Doomfist parkour with me after this.
Oh, nice sleep.
Yet another. Muse here with the bio, clinging to life. Can they keep him alive? The answer's yes. And Husi's able to find open. I don't know how the Justice were so reluctant to go after the Doomfist there, but now with Muse back in the fight, arguably the strongest weapon, and, well, comes back with a vengeance, doesn't he, Jack? Kalios, well, gets a bunch of fives.
Oh, hit the sleep, please. Okay, nice. Get the recall off, luckily for Finale. Yeah, Muse was 1 HP in that fight, and antied. Somehow he got away. Sleep on Doomfist, pretty easy when he's got the power block up. a lot of Doomfist you'll see now as well. Punching the other Doomfist when they have power block, it interrupts it, so they're more vulnerable. But because of how quickly Doomfist can move with his seismic slam, it can be tough even after a sleep to find the kill. You have to pair it with a lot of abilities to do so.
All right, pulse bomb attempt there from Toronto. No dice. Disrupt the shot. Another sleep this time. Kalios who had the nanos. A huge work from Twilight. We expect no less at this point. Muse is the one that opens up the account for the Defiant. And the Meteor Strike used by Kalios to get out of trouble, but he's been stunned and slept and CC'd the entire fight.
Yeah, another amazing sleep. Just Nano completely subverted, puts Kalios on the ground, and like you have Kalios sleeping like that, he has to use Meteor Strike to kind of reposition himself, and then you have almost no cooldowns, and Muse has already run away. The later Nano in that situation really aided Toronto Defiant.
All right, opening here. Wanted to go forward, but you saw obviously AM speed, but he has to double back here and try and deal with the constant threat on Finale. And here comes Hisu emerging with this overclock. Nice
triple headshot.
There. Yeah, that's very, very nice on Kalios. Krillin, fired right now. The beat is not there. It is gone. Not ideal for the Justice. It's all going wrong at the worst possible time.
Oh, the beat! The beat got punched by Muse.
You got Ajax.
Dude, he's so good. He's so good. That was insane. That was the one thing that they need to flip. And now what do they have? Nothing. Maybe Decay gets Pulse, and they're against a Nano coming up and a Pulse Bomb from Finale. Yeah, Finale can end the round right here.
Pulse big stick. Stick on Kalios. He's down. There it is. The Justice have lost their Doomfist. How do they recover? We're in overtime, and the Justice are playing it down. Opener's going to hit with a Vital Grenade, disrupt the shot thrown there, but it doesn't bother Twilight. He just steps back and keeps healing his team. A decent Biotic Grenade from Krillin, but eventually, yeah, Muse is going to come calling. And that will be that. The Toronto Defiant, I have to say, really inflict some psychological damage there on the Justice. A lot of frustrations for Washington to try and overcome in the second half of that round. What a nightmare.
Oh man, that beat interruption was just insane. I like Toronto Defiant also not running the Lucio. I really like the Brig in a lot of these situations too. You can counter, what do you call it? Like shield bash into the fist. Oh, is this the beat cancel? Probably is. Yeah.
Opener off the
Here's the beat. Oh, see ya.
And it was not even charged, right? It was just I guess it was just an insta right click.
Yeah, it looked like a very quick punch.
God,
yeah.
so easy to do.
Man,
Goes down. Devastating.
It looked like he was trying to do it on the table as well, Mitch, because it's like slightly elevated, so the activation time's a lot quicker. Just Muse was just pixels faster than he was. That's super unlucky.
All right. Well, let's see what kind of damage the tilt can inflict here on the Justice. Gonna have to be tough to bounce back from this one. Nice little seismic slam from Muse, who finds a great little way to wrap around. Happy with a Vital Grenade right now, and Kalios is discorded, but Muse is out of the picture.
Yeah, super nice sleep again. That's what you have to do at the moment. It has been the Muse show more often than not in this series. Just shut down Muse, and you shut down the Toronto Defiant right now. And hitting him with a sleep when he's half HP, that'll do it. Nice clean up from the Justice, yeah. The nade from the Washington Justice was actually really well used. It wasn't like a huge anti-nade or anything. He like did it on himself and the rest of the team to keep them up. When you nade your team and then you amp heal or just heal in general from Lucio, it's a crazy amount of health over time. So it's definitely worth keeping in mind of how much of a boon to HP that is for the rest of the team.
Drive-by from Muse there. Happy, oh, he goes forward, but he's able to bio in midair, and Finale just sees him begging to be taken down. This fight's already over.
Yeah, it was just like that. Just two anti-nades flying at each other. Twilight's was better. Like, and then the rest of the team deceased very quickly. That was an unbelievably fast fight. Like, no ultimates at all used. Oh, Finale threw a pulse bomb. It went nowhere. Okay, so he won't have that with this fight, unfortunately. But Justice can come back in fairly big. As long as Opener's beat is not interrupted. Chorong, very far away from the rally, so they know they have this extra supportive ultimate available. This pulse bomb, though.
Yeah, the timing's great, though, as well. Kalios jumped on top of Twilight, and still he's alive, though. Twilight has a nano available here. The trade is there, and Decay eventually is able to finish what he started. That's pretty darn important. That could have gone either way. Kalios, good sync with Decay as they dove in here, and this is just clean up for the most part. Kalios gets a nano, though, just to make sure the job gets done, but you have to wonder how necessary it was.
Yeah, well, luckily they didn't need to use the beat in this fight. However, stalling for a little bit extra time is Muse, all good. So they have the beat. If I were watching Justice right now, wow, okay, they find 2 exit kills. That's nice. Or like 1 exit kill, sorry, Toronto. If you were the Justice right now, you probably want to use the beat fairly early to force a response from the Toronto Defiant. Because you can either do that or stall out the fight for long enough to make it last fight, and then you build up to an overclock. We'll see what they want to do. And you can see everybody's super spread out right now, trying to make the Toronto Defiant commit in one direction so they can use the beat and go for the re-engage.
All right, here's that beat. You said you wanted to see it early, and early it comes. Chorong, a lot of pressure in the back line here, but he's able to bonk Happy out of the picture. Looks like there was a biotic grenade thrown in there, and it looks like the Defiant were a little bit scared of it, but that was pretty nasty.
Yeah, the beat only got 3 out of the 5 people on the... Oh, okay, well. You just walk up to the door. Can't tell how charged she is, so you just get 1 shot. Epic. Oh!
All right, that's nice.
What?
Yeah, look, decent poke damage on Happy there, I think, and Krillin's able to finish the job.
Yeah.
A lot of this round is being predicated about how these biotic grenades go, and now the Defiant have to hold this point with only 4
They got rally too. And it'll be a pretty rally as soon as the engage comes in. There you go.
Happy. Finale not sure about the charge status of the Sojourn, of course, and was there a pulse bomb required there? It would have been nice. Finale maybe not realizing that Kalios was going to be topped up by Krillin there just as he goes to critical health. Muse getting out. Finale stunned up for the moment here, and this will be the Justice getting back in. The Defiant looked a little reluctant to use some of those key cooldowns.
Yeah, the big stick on Twilight was the biggest thing in that fight. Less healing, but Chorong only hitting himself and Hisu with the majority of that overheal from the rally was also pretty big. Finale got none. Like, you need your Tracer to have that to gain like additional HP to fight these 1v1s. He got punched and stunned and finished off by Happy. Happy and Krillin have 2 massive ultimates. So you might as well choose them in combo. There you go. You know,
going in, disrupt the shot thrown down. Happy doesn't even really need the overclock, but he's happy to use it here, and this is the Justice paving the way to a 3rd round. A bit of a slow start, to be sure, but now they're firing, and that'll be even here on Lijiang Tower. Decay having a much better round, right? Pressuring Twilight a heck of a lot. Both DPS from the Justice with 7 final blows each.
Yeah, looking really good. This might straight up be a Game 5 situation. I've got a good feeling, a very good feeling right now. It's just so evenly matched currently.
Yeah.
Normally when teams are on like 4-4, 3-3, like they're even score lines coming into a series, normally there's one team that's favored a little bit more because, oh, this team had an easier schedule, this team had a harder schedule. But like in reality, these teams right now who are middle of the packet on the table, unbelievably close. And it comes down to a lot of like solo plays, Decay and Happy, Muse on Toronto Defiant. Like, there's a lot of skill on the server, and this is the perfect meta for them. I'll say it again, I said it at the top of the show too.
Muse having a quiet round last round though. No final blows for him, which is just a bit odd considering. It's not awful in general, but for him, maybe it's surprising. Happy, well, he was really caught in a maelstrom of bodies there, trying to duel with someone across the map. Hisu had the comfortable spacing.
Yeah, Happy got caught out completely. The rest of the Washington Justice, it looked like got repelled slightly. The Toronto Defiant were just straight into the backline, like Muse was just punching in. It was good to see Hisu on an off angle. Disruptor shot does so much work, and I think that was one of the reasons why Justice pulled back. But Happy actually stepped through it and like passed it to try and match up with the 1v1, and then he was just left out alone, left out to dry, quite literally. Nice slam, huge punch, and Decay's already dead.
Yeah. Decay never quite got to the backline, Jack. Eliminated by Hisu on the way there. And Muse now in a great position to push up and claim this space. The Justice, it's just a bit awkward for them now. How do they break out of this position? They can't really go to the right of the map anymore.
Yeah, it's tough. You really have to just split up completely, send Decay on one way, maybe have Happy on the high ground firing down, but you don't get really much of an angle if Defiant does end up rotating. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Okay, so Decay's on the side, pressuring the point. Hopefully their supports can actually get out of this choke.
Counterpuncher was there. Muse probably not too worried about the bio because no one was really looking at him and gets up close. I mean, we really underestimate how nasty that primary fire from Doomfist can be when you're at that kind of range. Just blows Kalios up.
Yeah, recharge is a lot quicker now, so you can really just kind of spam it. And not only that, it looked like he was like half body blocking Kalios too. So even if you were getting healing from the Ana, you're not going to be able to... Maybe you hit a couple of shots, but like the reality is you're probably not. You're just hitting Muse in the back. Time's ticking. Twilight's already dead. Happy at least opens his fight up with a kill. Although Finale wants to dice with him.
Kalios with a nano here. 6 ultimate fight for the Toronto Defiant, but they lose a player to Happy finding one with the railgun. And still, they look like they're going to be able to hold on here, the Defiant. Muse eventually falling to Happy, couldn't quite get where he needed to go. And this is 91% and ticking here. The Justice starting to feel the pressure in a big way. It's got to be now, or it's going to be never.
And touch, they need a touch. They should be able to do it. They're all on the high ground. Yeah, double blink from Happy, from Decay.
That's one! That's nasty from Hisu. Decides to make the play, goes for the flank, and his gambit pays off. Now there's going to be a sound barrier in play for the Justice. Oh, what a two players! Hisu and careening off the edge of the map, but Krillin is down. That's going to be nasty for the Justice to bounce back from. Meteor Strike is in, but Kalios' shield bashed immediately, and Twilight's given a Girl Scout cookie to top him back up. Open and trying to harass the Ana here, but Twilight is unkillable. It's ridiculous. The Justice fizzle, and the Toronto Defiant take the series away here, averting that 5th map. And that's devastating for Washington, as the Defiant found a rhythm, consistency in the last half of the series.
Man, a little curse there for myself. I said we go to map 5, maybe not. But the Toronto Defiant, week on week, improving, Mitch. They aren't running this Sombra anymore. They're just having Hisu and Finale on the Tracer and the Sojourn, which is what is best right now in this meta. The Sombra can work, yes, but it's a lot slower, and Hisu has had just some crazy performances on the Sojourn. So why not just permanently stick him on it? That's exactly what they did today, and they get a result I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy with. They're 3-1 in this series, and now they go up to 5-4, so pushing up ever so slowly to the upper ranks. Like, Toronto Defiant, they have incredible name value, and Muse too, ex-Gladiators player, coming in and playing in the Doomfist, he also popped off, I think, quite easily, carried them on a couple of those maps.
Yeah, so no surprise to anybody that a player of the match in this series from the Toronto Defiant is going to be Muse. I don't quite know how he did it, I'll be honest with you, especially on maps like Eichenwalder. His individual performance and his ability to secure these final blows so consistently, frankly, is quite staggering. Yeah. I mean, here are huge, obviously, environmental kills in this part of the map. Muse positioning himself really cleverly. This guy on another level to Kalios in this matchup on the Dooms.
Look at that body block. That body block was massive. Couldn't get the Transcendence healing. Like, that's insane. The Ana's like, Toronto, please beat me, please. Just like, his ability to isolate targets like that is unreal, and that's what you want from a good Doomfist player. Doomfist still does a fair bit of damage, and like a lot of tanks do a fair bit of damage, but if you're able to use the utility aspect of the Doomfist, the slow from the slam, the punch to just send people careening either off the map, he got 3 environmental kills on Watchpoint Gibraltar, or just isolating them away from the support, like that. Cancelling beats, yeah, that just levels your Doomfist play up and just levels the team up around you. Yeah, Muse absolutely deserved player of the match there. And look at those limbs, 19 per 10. Almost 10 final blows per 10 at 8.8. Meteor Strike kills, yeah, so-so. It's not going to insta-kill people like it kind of used to, but deaths also incredibly low, only 3.2 per 10, so yeah. Well-deserved Muse, popping off.
Sometimes with these players of the match, it's the intangibles that kind of get them over the line here. This time, not so much. You know, it wasn't exactly subtle, Muse's impact. Real carry performance, the kind of value that it's almost like the Gladiators weren't able to get out of him in a 6v6 format, but now, when Doomfist is all the vogue, Muse is popping off. I'm very curious to see what our crew over the desk have to say. Scott obviously choosing not to predict, and yet he didn't even come off the worst there, because no one in the truck is actually going to get their pred right. We'll head over to them and see how they're feeling after this match.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Game Break, everybody. I'm here joined now by the player of the match, none other than Muse from Toronto Defiant. Muse, congratulations on the win. Great showing from the Toronto Defiant. Last week you guys were relying very heavily on that Winston dive competition, but today, hey, no more Winston, and you guys won, and you guys actually looked really good on that Doomfist. I want to ask you, how did you guys decide to make that change of going from Winston to the Doomfist competition? 일단 뮤 선수 오늘 승리 너무 축하드리면서 이번 주는 저번 주와 다르게 둠피스 조합을 꺼내 드셨네요. 저번 주는 계속 이렇게 윈스턴 다이브로 가시다가 오늘 처음으로 둠피스 조합을 꺼내 드셨는데 이 조합의 변환 어떻게 해서 이루어졌나요?
저번 주에 아틀란타 경기를 보면서 조금 둠피 조합에 대한 영감을 받았던 것 같아요. 저희가 원래 윈선 조합을 고집하다가 이제 아틀란타 선수들의 이제 경기를 보고 아, 둠피가 이제 사기구나 해가지고 이제 한번 트라이 했는데 나쁘지 않아서 오늘 경기까지 썼던 것 같습니다.
Right, I think we were sort of heavily influenced by watching Atlanta Reign's gameplay. We sort of saw their Doomfist competition and we thought it was really good. And soon enough, we found out that Doomfist is a very, very OP hero. So I think that's why we pulled it out today and we found some great success. Now, talking about Doomfist, Muse, we were sort of chit-chatting right before we went on air, and you told me that this is actually your first time ever using Doomfist. And I mean, just by the fact that you got player of the match, you really killed it. I'm guessing you only had like maybe less than a week, couple days to practice. How did you get so good so fast? 두 번째 질문도 둠피스트 얘기가 나와서 여쭤보고 싶은 건데 저희가 이 라이브 방송하기 전에 잠깐 얘기를 했잖아요. 근데 뮤지 선수가 말을 했던 게 둠피스트를 이번에 처음으로 해봤는데 이렇게 지금 이제 POTM도 먹고 굉장히 좋은 모습을 보였던 것 같습니다. 이렇게 짧은 시간 안에 어떻게 해서 둠피스트를 이렇게 잘할 수 있게 되었나요?
일단 저희 코칭 스텝이 많이 저를 가르쳐줬고 아틀란타의 호크 선수 보면서 많이 배웠던 것 같아요.
Okay. All right. I mean, definitely our coaching staff on our team, Toronto Defiant, definitely helped a lot. And also another thing that really helped me a lot was Atlanta Reign's Hawk. I really watched that game and I learned from Hawk a lot, so that helped me a lot. All right, Muse. I mean, I am super excited to see more of your Doomfist play. And again, congratulations on the win. 이렇게 Doomfist 플레이 좀 더 많이 자주 봤으면 좋겠습니다. 뮤지 선수 인터뷰에 응해주셔서 너무나 감사드립니다. 바이바이.
감사합니다. 안녕.
Goodbye, Muse. Thank you so much. And of course, congratulations to you and your entire teams and all the fans and everyone who actually picked the Toronto Defiant, which is no one in this truck. But I feel like we still have a moral winner, which is Costa, and we'll let you gloat in just a second. But I do want to discuss the match first. Is that all right?
Yeah,
no, you get your minute. Don't worry about it.
I'll mix it in with my analysis.
Yeah. No, I mean, heading into this match, reinforce what you didn't want to see is Muse and Winston, and none of that. In fact, he played a very, very competent-looking Doomfist. Whereas on the other side, Kalios also played Doomfist, but not quite as competent-looking. In fact, a bit of the opposite there. He got caught out a lot. Was that a matter of him being focused, or what happened? Help me understand.
Just don't think Doomfist is really Kalios' forte. He went in. He tried his hardest. It was a lot of pain involved, Zoe. I think I've suppressed it already. Things go fast. To be honest, though, I do think that Washington, when they play this Senora Ana thing, that's like what they should do. Because we saw here on Gibraltar, they tried to force this Ana, Brigitte, tried the backline. It's like so hard to squeeze value out of this Brigitte. And, there wasn't great play for Toronto Defiant. This Biotic Grenade here, for example. Krillin wasted an Ana onto opener, like Josh discussed on the cast as well. And they just couldn't get this going. I think that continued on Alchemald as well, where opener tried to play this Brigitte, and I just don't think. Well, by the way, Muse is doing a fantastic job here, just like punching people off the map. It was crazy. Yeah, what are we gonna get? Do I take collateral damage for suggesting Kalios playing Sigma? and now we played Doom and was disappointing. Do I take collateral analytical damage from that, or what do you think?
I mean, you wanted to see him on Sigma.
Sigma, not Doomfist.
This is not your doing.
Okay.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I was completely right about everything that I wanted to try and define. If you guys remember,
they didn't play Sigma. They didn't play the seconds of Sigma. They were all Muse Doomfist.
Yeah, but you know, at least I said Toronto was good. I'm going to take that and use that as my full analysis because I didn't say anything about Hopper the entire time. But I think they're trying to fight. They actually looked really good on the back. Not just the Muse Doomfist, everything around that I think looked very good as well. They understood how they wanted to play the compositions, how to create this space. And, you know, Twilight as a flex support, we know he was one of the best in the business so far this season since moving to the Toronto Defiant. It didn't feel like he was having that level of impact we know him for, but it's really starting to click for them. Yes, the Justice looked a little weak. Yes, Kalios maybe didn't match Muse on that Doomfist, but I think overall it was a good showing by Toronto Defiant, and this should be. We said this was an important match. This is the first step to them making it to the mid-season tournament, and I think Toronto Defiant can run with this.
Yeah, I mean, this was very important in terms of standings, of course, because one of the two teams wanted to get into that 8th slot. Of course, things are still changing, things are still moving. We're not done yet with the qualifiers, so everything's still kind of out in the open. Now we have 2 more teams coming up in just a little bit, but we want to talk about that match. Are you all right?
Yeah, Johnny,
Are you all right, Jonathan?
He's boomed, you know.
It's all right. Let's distract you.
You know,
with
it's been said before. I just hope that when I die, the Washington Justice roster like lowers me into my grave, so they can let me down. Last time.
Oh my
Because
God.
I'm just.
I did not see.
I'm making a promise today. I will never.
Guys, that's all Johnny.
Welcome to the club.
I will never ever.
Never
Hex
ever?
is banning me. Okay. It's like holding, you know, shares in the stock market. It's like you're doing it because like you think that the good days will outweigh the bad ones. And I think if I never predict the Washington Justice, all the losses will outweigh the few wins the Washington Justice have. So that's going to be my mentality moving forward. No more disappointment, Costa.
Yes.
No more.
Welcome.
Okay, that's
No more.
I mean, the thing is, like, my predictions have been disappointing to begin with. So I'm so far behind at this point. I can pick it. I literally have to flip a coin. It doesn't matter anymore.
I like Gamba.
No, everything's on fire as far as my pickings are concerned. Now, a quick preview, of course, Atlanta going up against San Francisco Shock. Do we feel like there was a clear-cut winner in this one, or could this potentially be a very close match, Costa?
Shock have looked ridiculous so far in this meta. They have all the tools for it with, you know, they have Mikey to play the Wrecking Ball if they want to go that direction. We know Kalusia's been phenomenal. You got the backline in full force with Finn and Violet. It's going to be difficult for anyone to take down the Shock from what we've seen so far. Atlanta's been a good team. There has been some stumbles. If the best Atlanta that we've seen so far shows up, it'll be a close match. If not, it could be one-sided.
Agreed.
They got Kai. Kai, though.
Yeah.
Kaido.
That's always Kaido. That is correct. And now...
Kilo though.
Kilo though.
Proper, though.
Yeah.
Proper though. Actually proper though. Lots of things, you know, to keep into consideration when looking at this match. I am very excited to get it going in for all the action. We send it over to Mitch and Jack. Mac
Attack.
Mackerel.
That's good. I like it. Macro, what?
I mean, okay, yeah, no worries. Look, this matchup is fascinating to me, right? The San Francisco Shock versus the Atlanta Reign, because we saw a pretty different San Francisco Shock in Texas, right? You know, the word onliner gets thrown around a fair bit. The fact of the matter is that these guys are incredible online, and Atlanta, they look nervous. They look like they were unable to really adjust to the atmosphere. To be fair, a hostile crowd for them a fair bit of the time, so not an easy road for them here, but I mean, so far in regular season play, the San Francisco Shock have been pretty darn good.
Yeah, they're 8-0 in regular season. Then they go to land, they lose. It's like, what? We didn't expect this at all. Especially from people like Proper, Finn, Sam as well. I'm glad they've actually added